Well, hello there. Catherine Langman here, and welcome back to another episode of the Productpreneur Success Podcast. So we're into September now, and has this been a crazy year in business so far, or what? So recently, I presented a new workshop. Some of you might have attended it, teaching the strategies that we're using this year right now to generate really awesome, consistent traffic and sales growth for e-commerce businesses. And I can sense that there are a number of you who are just a teensy bit nervous that maybe customers won't be coming out to spend much over the next few months. That maybe Black Friday promos, Christmas promos, and the usual peak sales season that happens in fourth quarter of the year might not happen the same way. I just get this sense that there's a bit of a fear about that at the moment, a collective fear. You guys can let me know whether that's true for you, but I'm seeing a lot of you are holding back on trying things, implementing new marketing or investing in any advertising just for fear that it won't work. And I guess kind of looking for some kind of confirmation or guarantee in advance that, anything that you do try will work. And I totally get that. I totally understand the fears and anxieties around these things. I'm not immune to these things sometimes. But thankfully, we do have a lot of data right now that's telling us how and where and when customers are buying and what's motivating them to buy and all of that good stuff. So today on the show, I'm going to be sharing some of that data. I'm going to share some details around consumer spending habits right now. I'm going to also share some of the psychology of how different customers are buying, with the hope and intent that this gives you allays any fears, if you have any, or anxieties around your marketing right now, or just give, ultimately hope that you feel a little bit more confident about proceeding through the rest of the months of this year. Ultimately, though, you do need to commit first. So confidence follows commitment and action. It doesn't come before it. And I guess the other thing that you always need to bear in mind when it comes to marketing online, which we have to do for an e-commerce business, you need to let the data tell you. You can't make assumptions in advance. You've got to let the data tell you. So anyway, I want you to use the information that you hear today and then to commit to taking some action. And then I also encourage you to tune in again next week and learn more of a step-by-step Black Friday promotion strategy. Or if you can't wait that long, and you can also feel free to book in with us for a complimentary e-commerce strategy session. So what you get from one of our strategy sessions is a personalized marketing strategy really designed to help you move forwards and achieve your goals. I was literally told by one of our most recent clients just a couple of weeks ago that the detail they got from us in that strategy session, they've been quoted over $1,000 from other agencies just to receive the kind of information they got for us for free from us in one of those strategy sessions. So they're that good. So if you want to book in for that, you can just head to www.catherinelangman.com/work-with-me. I will, of course, include that link in the show notes in case that's too hard to remember. But for now, let's dive into the topic of how to maximize your marketing and enjoy mega sales results in Q4 this year. Now, firstly, let's call the elephant out in the room here. We are living through some of the highest levels of inflation since the 80s right now. And with interest rates only finally stopping their upward spiral, it's no secret that a lot of people, a lot of families have been tightening their, spending habits this year. So this coming holiday season, the economy does look a bit different. And I know that this is where a lot of your, many business owners' fears are stemming from. But does this mean that all people have completely stopped spending? No. And, tongue in cheek here, but last time I checked, my kids weren't keen on stopping eating. I totally say that in jest. They'll do what they're told. Ha. Anyway, kidding aside, and of course, also acknowledging that there are absolutely people right now who just don't have discretionary spending money, but the majority of us consumers are actually still spending money, right? And we're just spending it differently than perhaps a couple of years ago. If you are a smart business owner, you'll take the time to learn about those differences so that you can adjust your own marketing to suit. So let me share some stats for you. I always love some good statistics because that is super helpful in understanding what's going on. So 3 in 4 holiday shoppers, so I'm using the term holiday shoppers to kind of be all-encompassing in the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas / holiday periods that we have coming up, right? So 3 in 4 holiday shoppers surveyed say they're on the lookout for sales and bargains, with 1 in 4 shoppers saying they're going to be implementing a gift-giving limit, and 7% will be having a gift-free Christmas. So whilst a small proportion of consumers won't be out there spending money this Christmas, the majority of us will be, but we just want to get a little bit more bang for our buck, which makes complete sense, as we all want to be able to stretch that money that we do have to spend as far as possible right now. In the midst of economic uncertainty, peak promotional events like your Black Friday type promos or Afterpay Day or whatever the case may be play a really critical role, and they will do so probably even more so this holiday season coming. Typically, e-commerce retailers can expect their sales revenue to jump 30% on Black Friday alone. They do a good job of it, of course. This year, I'm expecting it could even be bigger. But again, you have to have the right strategy in place. 1 in 2 people are saying that they do most of their holiday and gift shopping during seasonal sales events like Black Friday. And in fact, last year, 60% of people bought something during the Black Friday Cyber Monday promotional event, which was up 25% from 2021. So again, I'm expecting this year could be even bigger. Consumers are still buying and wanting to buy what's most important to them. They're just becoming more thoughtful about how they spend. They're looking for meaningful savings, with 82% of shoppers saying they care about a discount right now when making a purchase decision. And if they can't get that from one brand, they are saying, like 82% of them are saying they're open to discovering new compelling brands and products, which is an increase from the past years. So this means that you can win new customers or get new customers to trial you for the first time if you plan a really great promotional strategy in the lead up to and during Black Friday. Now, I know that there will be a number of you who don't want to offer discounts or participate in this kind of a massive discount-driven type of promotion. So I really want to speak to those fears as well for a quick minute. We'll definitely talk more about this when I dive into the Black Friday promo strategy in more detail next week on the show. But let's touch on it now as well. So firstly, I know a lot of you worry that if you offer too many discounts that you'll be damaging your brand and training people to always wait for a discount. And yes, that can be true if you're running deep discount promos all the time. I certainly have seen some brands, running constant, business as usual ad campaigns and emails every week, multiple times a week with big discounts. That's not what you want to be doing, right? So, it can be true. However, I don't, if you've listened to this show for long enough, you know that I don't advocate for you to always be offering a discount incentive. However, I do encourage you to do it sometimes. And this is the kind of promotional event that is one of those times. Why? Simply because there are so many people who are saving and intending to spend a lot of money at this time, right? It is a massive opportunity for you to acquire more new customers who otherwise wouldn't be giving your brand or products a go. And if they love your stuff, which, I'm sure you have really great products, they'll come back, And number 2, you don't have to go with the whole Black Friday messaging. I know many of you identify with what I would call a brand with purpose. So the whole, culture of mass consumerism or fast fashion and all of that kind of stuff that I guess has historically been really tied up in the whole Black Friday messaging goes against your values. And so if that's you, your customers probably won't resonate with the whole Black Friday messaging as well. But what I want you to realize is that sitting out a promotional event is not the answer. Because here's the thing. There are a ton of those consumers out there who also want to enjoy receiving a discount or some kind of offer that they know will be out there at that time of the year. And they want to receive that from the brands that do resonate with their personal values. So for that reason, over the last couple of years, there's been a growing movement around the messaging Green Friday. So that's really been picking up speed over recent years. I remember one of our clients last year whose branding is very, very bright pink, like my nails today, if you're looking at the video. She did Pink Friday, and that was so much fun, right? So ultimately, you don't need to call your promotion a Black Friday promo, and you don't need to go out with the kind of, I'm sure you know what I mean when I say the whole kind of Black Friday-ish messaging. Like, you don't need to do that. You can stick to the kind of content and messaging that is relevant to you and your brand and your values and your customers, and you will be rewarded. All right, moving on. Where are these people discovering new brands and products right now? So 47% of holiday season shoppers are discovering brands and products via video on social media platforms. Hello, Reels, and of course, TikTok. Now, in terms of channels where customers are actually discovering new brands, the number one location actually is still in-store brick and mortar retailers, which is kind of nice after so many of them really were hit hard with shutdowns during COVID lockdowns. But, the proportion of people discovering products and brands in-store actually has reduced year on year over the last few years. So it's still the biggest channel, it's just less than it used to be. 46% are discovering via meta channels, being Instagram and Facebook. And again, I'm, largely via the video, real videos. And, like you can tell, if you go on, if you spend any small amount of time on these platforms, you can see the platform's algorithms, they're really feeding that kind of content out, even organically. It's not just in paid ads, right? So that's, I guess, why. And, part of it's driven by the platform trying to favor those sorts of content, and part of it's driven by the users on the platform who are actually engaging with that kind of content. So the platforms would not be pushing it out if the users weren't engaging with it more, right? And so that kind of discovery is up 12% year on year, which is pretty huge. And then followed by that is 34% using Google search. So not Google shopping ads. Google shopping ads, I'd say, are really where, that's like the pointy end of the funnel when people are ready to buy right now. So that's not your discovery stage. People are only going to Google ready to buy if they know about you. But Google search, you think about like how-to search terms or, things like that where people are trying to find an answer for something. Of course, there are definitely other places where people are discovering new brands and products, but those are the really significant ones. However, people aren't just going to be motivated to buy simply and only because there's a discount. They still want to spend in a way that is relevant and authentic to their personal values. 70% of shoppers enjoy discovering relevant items that they weren't actually looking for, which is up 17% year on year. And unsurprisingly, 41% find that ads that show relevant products are most influential in their purchase decision. What does this mean? It means that you really, really, really need to understand who your ideal customer is and what actually motivates them to even look for a solution to a problem or a need or desire, let alone buy one, right? So no poo-poo platter or throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks kind of approach with your ads, please. You need to truly understand your ideal customer and show your ads to those people with the right content, the right messaging, the right visuals, etc., etc. Not to mention, really working hard to make all of that kind of creative aspect of your marketing appealing to the right people. Alrighty then. By now, you are hopefully on board with the reality that there are customers who are planning to spend really good money between now and the end of the year. They're actively looking for new products. And even if they're not actively looking for them, they are responding to, those discoveries if they're relevant for them. And they're looking for some savings, right? So the next question in your mind should hopefully be, when are they going to be shopping? And of course, by this, I mean, when will you enjoy that potential 30% increase or more in your sales revenue? And a lot of people are actually already starting to plan what they will buy, with some super organized shoppers, 24%, in fact, planning to shop in October for the holiday season. I don't understand those people. I am not one of those 24%. The majority, being 56% of shoppers, will be shopping in November, with 2 expected peaks, one early November and one late November. And then the remainder in December, which is when you get the disorganized numpties like me scrambling for summer clothes and Christmas gifts at the last minute. Now, in Australia, and I'm sure probably other Commonwealth countries as well, there's historically been a big peak shopping spike on Boxing Day. And some of you might still want to do that to clear out stock that, really isn't relevant after that date, where for whatever reason. But I feel fairly certain that most of you will be probably more happy to be sitting back and having a bit of a break from your business at that point and enjoy the higher sales period before Christmas. Your choice, of course. What I want you to understand, though, is that enjoying any of those sales, those peak sales jumps in your business, or really maximizing the chance to receive a meaningful influx of sales during that peak sales period, will require you to be planning and implementing your marketing now and being really strategic about it. Now, in years gone by, a lot of you would have relied on throwing up a few Facebook ads around the Black Friday promo event and maybe sending a couple of emails, or even maybe not even getting your shit together until like December. And, it's like December rolls around. It's like, crap, I've got to get a Christmas campaign out and that sort of thing. And outside that, it would have been posting on socials and hoping your customers would reward you with a few orders. Last year, what we saw was that conversion ad costs skyrocketed during November. So any brand who had not been, marketing consistently or strategically, or growing their list, or doing any of the things that I've been banging on about all year in the months leading up to that time, really, really struggled. They really struggled to get their ads seen. They really actually struggled to get their ads delivering and spending money. And they struggled to get any conversions at all, let alone at an affordable price. So I'm sure that you do not want that to happen to yourself. Now, next week, I'm going to show, I'm going to be going through, like I've said a couple of times, I'm going to be going through a much more detailed episode about the Black Friday promotional strategy. So hang tight for that one. But for now, I really want you to understand the gist of it. From now through to the end of October, you want to be growing your database and building your warm audiences, literally getting the brand discovery happening for as many new people as you can. And you'll get people buying now. You'll get more people buying now than they are at the moment. Not everybody's going to be waiting to shop, in November, right? And, remember earlier I mentioned that social media video content is where 46% of customers are discovering new brands and products right now. So make sure you get onto that. Once we head into November, you have to expect brands will be going out early with their Black Friday promos. It's going to be like Black Month, not Black Friday. So you'll be wanting to capitalize on all your warm audiences by November and not relying so much on cold to conversion ads. After Black Friday, Cyber Monday wraps up, ad costs do drop. So if you have Christmas gifts to sell, it'll be a really great time to advertise to all the disorganized people like me. And so, really just try and think about the three kind of segments of timing that I've just went through there, and start, putting some thought in your mind about how you might approach this. Next, I just want to shift gears a little bit and talk about the psychology of how your different buyer types make their purchase decisions, because this will actually also help you when you're, creating some content for your marketing, your ads. I think it's very common for businesses to only create the kind of marketing content that appeals to themselves, without realizing that there are different buyer types whose purchase decisions are motivated by different messages. Now, there are 4 different buyer types that all of us have and that you really want to consider with your marketing content. The first one is your spontaneous buyer. So this is the spontaneous buyer is the person who sees something new and just wants it straight away. They are going to be the person who is heading through the checkout and they see something there and they just grab it on the way. They don't really think about it. This person also likes to be the first to have something, like, if you think about your friends circle, the spontaneous buyer wants to be the first of, their group of friends, and, they get a bit of status out of being the first. They're going to be the people lining up outside the Apple store for the newest product launch, that kind of thing, right? And so messaging that really appeals to them is going to be about, this something really exciting, something really new, really getting them hyped up about what's new. So when it comes to, really marketing in general, you always want to have new news, because, and even if you have to kind of create something new, like the products themselves might be the same, but you put a new theme around a promo, that kind of thing, then that will appeal to this spontaneous buyer, because it seems like it's something new, right? Second type of buyer is your methodical buyer. And this is the person who has all the questions. They want to know absolutely everything before they make a decision. You might think of these as the logical buyers. So this will be the person on your customer service chat line asking absolutely every single question that you've written the details somewhere on your website, but they're going to ask them all anyway. They will be perusing your FAQ section. They will want to know absolutely everything about not just the features of the product and how it works, and they want to know, like, all the details about delivery. Is there what's the returns policy? Like, they want to know absolutely everything about the whole thing. So if you're doing a special, which you should be probably planning a few different kind of different promotions and marketing content from now to the end of the years, and just keep this methodical buyer in mind. You might want to have some updates happening on your FAQ pages on your website that really keeps this kind of buyer in the loop. Humanistic buyer is the third one, and this is your social proof buyer. So this kind of person is going to respond to content like, your UGC content on social media, your user-generated content. They're going to respond to customer reviews and testimonials. They really want to see case studies. They want to see other people just like them, and how they're using your products. Are they having success? Do they love it? Are they just like me? So if you're selling clothing, for example, what size are they? How did it fit them, specifically with their body shape? And this humanistic buyer is really looking for all of that person-to-person details. They're like, I would say in my family, my younger sister is this person, probably. She likes to, her idea of doing research is to just ask me and ask other people, and then she'll make her decision. And that's a really, really big proportion of your buyers. I would say that the methodical buyer is the smaller proportion, but once they've done their research and they've made their decision, they're solid customers. They're not going to be the ones who are really super prompt at demanding refunds or being, the kind of customer I mean. All right. And then the fourth buyer type that I want to mention is your competitive buyer. So this is the person who is like your deadline dancer. They are going to be waiting till the last minute when the deal is about to run out. And, if you think that you've told everyone 10 times that the offer ends on Monday night at such and such a time, this person will still need the final reminder to go out before that's over, and to get them over the line. So just think about the changing up that kind of messaging in your content on socials, in your ads, in your emails, and all of that kind of stuff, and really making sure that you are covering off all bases for all of those four buyers over your promotional period. And so, like I said, make sure that you do have that variety of content to suit each of those buyers. You want to make sure you have it now and throughout the coming weeks and months if you really, really want to succeed in a big way with your fourth quarter sales results. All right, so before we wrap things up today, here are the main takeaways that I want you to get out of this episode. Number one, inflation does not equal fourth quarter deflation. If you implement the right marketing strategies in your business starting now, you will enjoy a really big uptick in revenue between now and the end of the year. Number 2, capture shoppers early as well as late. So using the kind of messaging that will appeal to your super organized and very disorganized shoppers and everyone in between with those different buyer types as well. You really want to make sure that you are doing a good job of capturing them, capturing their attention, getting the discovery happening, closing the sales, all of that kind of stuff throughout those different time periods that I was talking about before. And number 3, make the most of your sales strategy by really understanding those consumer behaviors and platform behaviors and all of that kind of stuff. And then number 4, of course, maximize your results even further by understanding those 4 different buyer types and the kind of content that you need to show them to influence their purchasing decisions. So hopefully that was really useful. Hopefully it was thought-provoking at the right moment in time for you, and that you can really start getting ahead with your marketing, planning, and implementation for Q4. Of course, if you do need help getting this kind of marketing implemented in your business so that you quickly and effectively, so that you can generate more website traffic and sales in your online store every single day, give me a shout. This is what I do, my team does. We do it for clients every single day. And I would love to invite you to book a free e-commerce strategy session with us, and let's talk about how we can help you launch, scale, or grow your business. If you'd like to book that in, just head to catherinelangman.com/work-with-me. For now, I really hope you have a fabulous rest of the day and week, and I will be back on the show with you again next week, where we will dive in even more detail into Black Friday strategy. Bye for now.